morning, students. Today we will discuss about a pattern in programming. So how to draw a pattern using loops. So how to use the nested loops and how to draw the different kinds of pattern that we will discuss today. So I will start with this very simple pattern first, and that is I want to draw a 5-star. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5-star, that is horizontally. So how we can do this? So it is very simple. Suppose if you want to draw a 5 horizontal star, then you can take a loop, right? And you can do the same. How? Let me show you over here. You can take a variable, for example, integer I. You can write for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. And here you can simply print a star. You can give the space and you can just click on build and run. Whenever you click on build and run, it will draw a 5 horizontal star, and here you can just match with your output that the 5-star is printed. Right now, suppose if anybody asks you that I don't want a 5-star horizontal, I want the 5-star that is vertical. So is there any way to draw a star that is vertical? Yes, there is a way. For example, if anybody asks you that I want to draw a star, but it should be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the concept is very simple. If you want to draw a star on each line, then after printing the star, you can press a slash n. So very simple. After a star printing, here you can write a slash n. So whenever you write slash n, you will get that the 5-star will be printed, but now it will not be horizontal, it will be vertical. So here you can check that the 5-star is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The same results available over here, and that is a 5-star that is vertical. So very simple. Suppose if you want to draw a 5-star horizontal, then you can directly take a one loop and you can print. If you want to draw a 5-star that is vertical, then you can just write a slash n and you can print like this. Now the question is, sir, I want to draw a combination. It means I don't want to draw a single row or a single column. I want the combination of row and column. Is there possibility to draw this? Yes, it is possible. For example, suppose if you think that, sir, I want to draw a star, but I want to draw a 3 lines and 5-star. So here it is very easy to calculate that there are 3 rows, right? So here you can just give that this is the one row, this is the second row, and this is the third row, right? So one row, second row, and third row. Here you can just give that this is the one column, this is the second column, this is the third column, this is the fourth column, and this is the fifth column. Now I want to draw like this, that is a star, that is, it means you can say that this is the square of 3 by 5. It means 3 rows and 5 columns, and I want to draw asterisk. So how we can do this? Very simple. See, here I will give you some hint to draw the same. For example, the hint is what? That is, here whenever you take a row that is 1, 2, 3, you can just assign that this is I, and you can say that this is J. Right now my J is printing the star for each I. It means for one row I want to draw a 5-star. For second row I want to draw a 5-star. For third row I want to draw a 5-star. So very simple it is. Here you can just take I equal to 1 and I less than or equal to 3. Why? Because I want the 3 rows. Now here you can take one more loop, and that is j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 5, j plus plus. And here you can define the two variables I and j. Now you can simply print a star and then you can give the space. Now what happens? See, it will display for each I, so my I is 1, 2, 3, it means I is 1. So for each I, it will display 5 star. So I1, it will display 5 star. I2, it will display 5 star. I3, it will display 5 star. It means my 15 star will be printed over here. Whenever you run over here, that is build and run, what is the problem? It will definitely print the 15 star, but after printing the 5 star, that is 3, 4 and 5, it is not taking any enter. And we want like this, what we want, that after printing the 5 star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want that the next 5 stars should be printed below this 5 star. Right? It means whenever my I is reset, I need to write the slash n. So very simple. After each completion of I, here you can simply write printf slash n. So what happened to this? Whenever one row is completed, it will print the row. So now here you will be able to see that it is a 3 by 5 square. So you can say that one row, second row, third row, and 5 columns are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 columns are there. Interesting thing is what? Suppose if anybody asks you that I want to take the input from the user, and that is enter how many rows and columns you want, enter the value of the rows and columns. So I'm just taking a variable, that is percentage d, ampersand row, ampersand column. Right? So how many row and how many columns you want, that I'm taking from the user. So here very simple, your I will be run up to number of row and your J will run up to number of column. So whenever you run this, it will ask you enter the number of rows and columns. Suppose I says that I want 6 row and 8 columns. Now you will be able to easily calculate the things, that there are 6 rows. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And there are 8 columns are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So it is very easy to draw a matrix type, a square type, that is you can say square of any character. For example, if anybody says that, sir, I don't want to print a star. I don't want to print a star. I want to print that. That is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Every time I want the 1. I want 2, 2, 2, 2. I want 3, 3, 3, 3. Then how we can do this? Then very simple. See, if you observe this thing very properly, if you see this properly, then you will be able to identify that the I is going to print over here. I is what? If I is 1, then 1 is printed over here. If I is 2, then 2 is printed over here. If I is 3, then 3 is printed over here. So very simple. Whenever you are printing a star, instead of star, here you can simply print percentage d and I. So whenever you print I, instead of star, your I will be displayed. For example, how many rows and columns? I want 5 rows and 7 columns. So you will be able to see that every time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be repeat for 7 columns. Right? So it is displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the exactly the same result that I want on the paper, that I am printing 1, 2, 3. But might be a chance people ask you that I don't want to display 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 like this. I want to display like this, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, I want to reset the thing, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I want to reset the thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there any way to do this? Yes. If you observe it carefully, then you will get the idea that I is 1, I is 2, I is 3. It means, is I is printed over here? No. Then you can look for the J. Then the J value is what? J will be, that is my J. J will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it means my J is printed over here. So whenever you just change the value, instead of I, if you print a J, then you will get the idea that exactly the same output that is available over here that you will get on the console. For example, 5, that is a 3 rows and 5 columns. Then you will be able to see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is printing a J. So very simple, you just need to identify that is your I is printed or your J is printed, right? So very easily you can identify the things and you can display. But right now I just want to display a star. So I'm just writing here star. So you will be able to identify that your star is displaying over here. For example, 6 row and 5 columns. Might be a chance people ask you that I don't want to print a star. I want to print a ABCD. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. For example, instead of I equal to 1, I less than or equal to row, and here, see what happens here. I want the 5 rows and 6 columns. So definitely the number of rows and columns are required, right? So how we can print the particular thing? So very simple. Here you can do what? That is I equal to 65. So what happened? Your I will not start from 1. Now your I will start from 65. And we all knows that the 65 is the ASCII value of capital A. Up to which value you want to continue this? That's simple. For example, if my row is 3, then I want to run up to 65 plus 3. So my value will be run up to 68. Very simple. Suppose if you want to run up to number of column, then simply you can write 65 plus column. So it will run up to that particular column. Instead of percentage D, you can print percentage C. Now, if you print here, that is I, then every time, what happens, see, instead of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, it will print A, B, 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 C, 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 C. Why? Because instead of digit 1, 2, 3, I'm just printing the character, and that is ABCD character. Definitely it will ask me how many rows you want and how many columns you want. I want 10 rows and 6 columns. And you will be able to identify that. See, 10 times. So 10 rows A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K and 6 columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 plus 3 plus 1. Yes, exactly why it is happened. See, my column is a 6, right? So 65 plus 6, it will be 71, right? So it will run up to 7 times. So what we need to do? Simple. Instead of less than or equal, I just need to run up to less than, right? So row in same applies to the row. So here you can write less than, and now you can check. For example, 10 rows and 6 columns. Now you will get exactly the 10 rows. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Why it happens? Very simple. 65 plus 10, it will be 75. So my value is starting from 65 less than 75. It means 65 to 74. 10 times it will run. And I'm getting here the value that is a, B, C, D, right? For example, 6 rows and 10 columns. So 6 rows are there and 10 times A, B, C and each letter are printing. Instead of I, suppose if I say J, then what happened? My earlier output is like this. earlier output is like this, but if I print J, then it will print A, B, C, D, E, F, G like this. So what happens, see, whenever you print J, then your column value will be displayed. So your column value is A to J, A to J, A to J. So the magic is what? Here you can print digit, here you can print character, and here you can print ABCD if it is required, or any character you can print over here. But right now I'm just interested in pattern. So I'm writing here I equal to 1 to less than or equal to row, I equal to j equal to 1 to less than or equal to columns. Suppose if I says that I want a 5 rows and 5 columns, right? Then it will display a square like this. So if I says that I want the 5 rows and 5 columns, then it will print the square like this. Now the question is, I want to draw a triangle from this. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So you just need to do a first paperwork. First, you just need to write the star so you can understand it properly. Right? If I say 5 by 5, then it will display 5 row and 5 columns. So I'm just drawing here the same thing that is available on the console that I'm printing on the paper. So what happens is there are 5 rows and 5 columns. So here you can just give the number that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is your I, right? And this is your J. So my J is what? That is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the question mark is I want the triangle, right? So what kind of triangle you want? So I want the triangle like this, that is 1 in the first row, 2 in the second row, 3 in the third row, 4 in the fourth row and 5 in the fifth row. It means I want the output like this. Now, whenever you want the output like this, you just need to understand that my J is printing the star. If you look carefully over here, then J is printing the star, right? So, my J is printing the star. Now, J is printing 5 star if my I is 1. J is printing 5 star if I is 2. J is printing 5 star if I is 3. Now the question mark is, I don't want to print every time 5 star. I want to print a 1 star at the first, 2 star at the second, 3 star at the third place. So very simple, see, if you look carefully, then you will be getting the idea that if my I is 1, then J is printing 1. If my I is 2, then J is printing 2. If my I is 3, then J is printing 3. If I is 4, then J is printing 4. It means my J is running up to it reaches to the I. So J loop will run up to it less than or equal to I, not J less than or equal to column that is 5. So earlier what happened? Whenever I write here row and column 5, then my J is running up to 5. And that is the reason why every time I am getting the 5 star. But instead of 5, I will run up to I. So what is the value of I? I is 1, then J will print 1. If I is 2, then J will print 2. If I is 3, then J will print 3. If I is 4, then J will print 4. So J will run up to it reaches to the I, and as a result, if you just change here that J less than or equal to I. So if I is 1, then J will run up to 1. If I is 2, then J will run up to 2. So if I says that I want the 5 rows, 5 column, then you will be getting that the 5 star triangle over here. One of the good thing is what? Suppose if you run this and if you says that I want 10 rows, 10 columns, then you will get exactly the triangle that we want. It means the 10 times it will run. So number of columns and number of rows is in our control right now. One more thing, see, I'm not using the column anywhere over here, and that is the reason why I don't need the column. Why? Because if I run and if I say 10 row 0 column, then also it will print the same result. Why? Because I am not using the column variable. Now I am printing the column based on the row. It means if my row is 1, then column will be 1. If row is 2, then column will be 2. If row is 3, then column will be 3. If row is 10, then the column will be 10. So my J is running up to the number of rows, and row is managed by the variable I, and that is the reason why column variable is not required over here. So very simple, you just need to get that, enter the value of n, or you can say how many rows you want. So you can just say enter value of n. So number of row we will get from the user, and we will get the same result that we want. For example 10, then we will get the 10 time triangle. So this is what the triangle is. Once you get left aligned triangle, then the task is very simple. Task is very simple. See, now suppose if anybody says that I don't want the star, I don't want the star. I want that. I want the 1 over here, then 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. It means that you are printing I. Now, if anybody says that I want the 1, then 1, 2, then I want the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you are printing the J. Right? So in this particular program, if you say percentage D and I, then you will get the output like this: 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Suppose instead of I, if you print J, then you will get 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose if you are taking here variable, right? And the variable that I want that it start from 65, for example, that is k is equal to 65. So I'm taking here variable k, right? And every time I will just increment the value of k, and instead of j, if I print k, then it will print the alphabets. So whenever I write 5, it will print the ABCD. So A B, ABC, ABCD, ABCDE. Now if you says that I don't want the output like this, it means I don't want the AAB. I want the A, then I want BB. I want C, C, C. I want D, 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 D. Then I want E, 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 E. It means you are managing I. So if you are managing a I, then simple thing is you don't need to write k equal to 65 over here. Just write over here in I, and here you can increment the value of k. So your k will be incremented at whenever your I is increment. So for each row it will be incremented, and as a result you will get the output like this. That is A, B, B, C, 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 D, 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 E, E, E. So it is very simple to convert the value into triangle once you get the value, right? So suppose if you are printing a star, then we don't need to do anything over here. Simply we can write I equal to 1 and I plus plus, and whenever you run this, suppose if you say 10, then 10 time triangle will be displayed over here. Now, once you get the triangle like this, now the question mark is, I don't want the triangle. I want the pyramid. So, how we can convert our triangle into pyramid? For example, if my n is 5, right, then I want to convert it this triangle into pyramid. So first you need to calculate everything. First you need to understand that each and every character that you are printing. So whenever you are printing anything, You just need to understand that how many spaces is required and how we can do the spacing in this, so we can convert the our triangle into pyramid. So very simple funda for this. Here, if you look into your triangle carefully, if you look into your triangle carefully, then you will get the idea that this is the one character, then space is a character. So one, two, this is the third character, this is the fourth character, this is the fifth character, this is sixth character, this is seventh character, this is eighth character, and then I'm getting the ninth character. Why I am getting like this? Just because after printing the star, I am printing the space also. So I'm not only printing a star, I'm printing the space also. So we need to manage this space also. If you are not printing the space, then you don't need to manage this, right? So right now I'm printing the space, so I need to manage the space also. So I just want to write over here the same triangle. So I can convert the triangle into pyramid. So first star, then 1 and 3, then 1, 3 and 5, then 1, 3, 5 and 7, then 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Now I want to convert this triangle into pyramid. So very simple logic for the same, that for example, if you give a proper space from first star to last star, then you will get the pyramid. How we can get this? Let me give you here hint. For example, before this is first star, if you give a 4 space, right? So before printing this star, it means the star is printing by J. So before running the loop of J, I want to give a 4 space. So if you give here 4 space, then after 4 space, it means 1, 2, 3 and 4. After 4 space, I will get the star over here. Now you can just decrease the space. So if you give here 3 space, then what happened? Before this 1, the 3 spaces will be given over here. That is 1, 2 and 3 space. Now simply you can print the both the star, 1 star space star. So 1 star space star. So you will get the output like this. Now if you give here 2 spaces, so before printing this 3, if you give 2 spaces, that is 1 and 2. Now you can simply print your star, that is 1 space star space star. So you can write here star space star space star. Now here, suppose if you give a 1 space, so what happened? I just need to give a 1 space over here. So once you give a 1 space, now star space star space star, so star space star space star space star. I will get like this. Now if I not give any space into the last, so if I not give any space, then it will display like this, star space star space star space star, and as a result you will get the pyramid. So very simple. I just need to give the proper spaces before printing this. We already did this. See, we already did this. Now before this star prints, I want to give a 4 space. So I just need to understand how we can give the 4 space. So very simple. See, before printing this, so if I write here, that is a printf, and if I give 1, 2, 3, 4 space, right? If I give 4 space before j print, then what happens? See, every time, suppose if I says that I want the 5-star triangle, then every time 4 space will be there. See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. But I don't want the every time 4 space. We already calculated on the paper that I don't want every time 4 space. I want first time 4 space. So this star is perfect. But I want here only 3 space, 1, 2 and 3. So I don't want this 4th space over here. So every time I want to decrease the space, right? That is the logic. So very simple. If you write here static spaces, then you will not get the proper output. Then how we can do this particular thing? Very simple. Here you can take a loop. For example, I'm writing for k equal to 1, k less than or equal to 4, for example. See, so k plus plus, and I'm just giving here space. Now again it is a static. It means what it will do? It will run up to 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. So it will give always 4 space. Right? So output will be as the same as it was earlier. So if I say 5 star, then it will give 4 space, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So idea is not working again yet. So what to do in this particular case? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So very simple. First time I want 4, then I want 3, then I want 2, then I want 1, and then I don't want any spaces. So very simple. Instead of k equal to 1, you can make it here k equal to I. So what happens? See, I is 1, 1 to 4, it will give me 4 space. Now whenever I become 2, so it will run 2 to 4, so it will be 3 space. Whenever I become 3, so 3 to 4, it will take 2 space. And whenever I become 4, 4 to 4, it will give me 1 space. And whenever I become 5, it will not run. So no spaces, and we don't want the space at the last iteration. So if you write here 5, then what happens? See, exactly the pyramid that we want, it's printed over here. But what is the problem over here? The problem is my n is user defined. So whenever I write n equal to 10, it will not give me the perfect pyramid. Why? Because it is giving me spaces up to 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. After this, it is not giving any space. So what we need to do? Simple. We need to run this particular loop up to less than row. It means if row is 5, then I want to run up to less than 5. Right? If n is 10, then I want to run up to 9. So if you write 10, you will get the perfect pyramid. If you write 15, you will get the perfect pyramid. And if you write here 5, then also you will get the perfect pyramid. So this is the way you can convert your triangle into pyramid. Now suppose if anybody says that I don't want only pyramid, I want to convert this particular pyramid into right aligned triangle. So what is right aligned triangle? See, right aligned triangle means I want the output like this, and that is not a left align, not a left align. I want the right align, right? So how we can convert our output into right align? So very simple again. See, this is our pyramid, right? Same spacing if you give again, right? So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you give a same space again, for example, see, if I am giving 4 space again to this, so my star is at 5, so I need to give a 4 space, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. If I give 4 space, then star will be printed at this particular position 9. Now if you give 3 space over here, that is 3 space from here, so I just need to give the 3 space. Right now my star is available at this particular position, that is at 4, right? So I need to give a 3 space, that is 1, 2 and 3. If you give 3 space, then your star will be printed like this. Now if you give a 2 space, now my star is available at 3rd place, right? So star is available at 3rd place. And if you give a 2 space, then you will give a 2 space over here, then your 3 star will be displayed like this: star, star and star. Now if you give a 1 space, so right now my star is available at this particular place, that is 2nd position. So if you give a space over here, then your star will be starting displaying from here. So you will get a star like this. Now if you are not giving any space, then you will get the star over here like this. So what is the biggest benefit of this? You can see that the right aligned triangle is printed over here. So in pyramid, I just converted into right aligned triangle. I just given the same space that I given earlier. So very simple, see, the concept is what? If you give one more space over here, it means if this is the triangle, right? And if you give a 4 plus 4, 8 space, then you will get the triangle like this. So it means what? If you give not any space, then you will get the triangle that will be the left aligned triangle like this. Suppose if you give a one space, then you will give the four spaces to this. If it is a 5 row triangle, then you will get the pyramid. And if you give one more space over here, then you will get the right aligned triangle. So there are three different varieties. That is left aligned, pyramid, and right align, right? So this is the pyramid. If you remove the space, all the space, then it will be left align. If you give one space, then you will get the pyramid. And if you give one more space, then you will get the right aligned triangle. If you make it here 5, then you will get that exactly the 8 space you will get over here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It means I am giving here 4 plus 4. So 8 spacing are there. So whenever you give a 4 plus 4, 8 space, you will get your star at the 9th position over here. Right. So this is the way you can convert your left aligned triangle into pyramid, and your pyramid will be converted into right aligned. Now students, suppose if you think that, sir, this is the left align, yes, it is correct. This is the right align, yes, it is correct. Now I want the mirror copy of this over here. So how we can do the mirror copy of this? So mirror copy is what? The reverse of this. It means my star will be look like this. See, that is a 5 star will be displayed over here first. Right? Then 4 star will be displayed. Then 3 star will be displayed. Then 2 star will be displayed, and then 1 star. So how we can convert this triangle into the mirror copy of that particular triangle? So very simple. It is very simple. How we can do this? See, this is the simple triangle. So let me write here that the value, for example, value of this triangle is 5. Then I am getting the left aligned triangle. It means I am getting the same triangle that I have over here, right? That is left. But I want the triangle like this over here, and that is I want the triangle like this. It means my row must display 5 values first, right? Not 1 values. So how we can do this? Very simple. Here you can write like this. Your I will be start from, that is, see, if I am writing here that I equal to 1 to row. Suppose if I says I equal to row and I greater than or equal to 1 and I minus minus. Suppose if I says like this, then my row will be doing what? Suppose if I says 5, then it will print 5 star. Now you can check. See, I'm getting exactly the same result over here. It means my row is printing first. So it means my row is 5, then 5 star is displayed. Then my row become 4, so 4 star is displayed. Then my row become 3, then it 3 star displayed. Then my row become 2, so 2 star displayed. Then my row become 1, so 1 star is displayed. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, I'm just doing what? Row 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? So your row will be running from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you have this particular triangle. Now you want to convert this triangle into mirror copy of this. That is pyramid. So how we can convert into mirror copy of this? So very simple. See, this is the reverse copy, mirror copy of this triangle. So this triangle mirror copy is this. So definitely your spacing will be mirrored over here. So whenever you give a spaces in a reverse order, for example, if you say here I want to give 0 space, I want to give 1 space, I want to give 2 space, I want to give 3 space, and I want to give 4 space, then I will get the mirror copy of this. How? Let's see. If you give 0 space, it means the same star will be displayed over here, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. If you give one space, then what happens? The one space will be printed over here. So this all star will, before printing this star, one space will be printed. So this star will be starting printing from this particular position, and you will get the output like this. Now if you give a 2 space before this, then the 2 space before this, then the star will be printed after 2 space. So your star will be printed like this. Now if you give 3 space, then 1, 2 and 3. After 3 space, your 2 star will be displayed. So your star will be displayed like this. Now if you give 4 space, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 space, your star will be printed like this, and exactly the mirror copy that we are getting. So my spacing will be like what? That will be from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It means my K is equal to I. So I is what? That is, you all know, it is running up to row, so it is running up to 5. So no need to make any changes. Here you can just give the space and you will get the pyramid. So if you write here that I want the 10, you will get the mirror copy of the pyramid, and this is exactly the same pyramid that I want on the paper. Now one of the interesting thing is what? Whenever you give one more space, you will get the mirror copy of the last one, and that is what? That is a right aligned triangle. Right aligned triangle. The mirror copy of this is available over here. So the magic is what? Very simple. Suppose if you run this particular program again, and if you say, if you give 5 space over here, right? So you will be getting the output like this. Why? Because the same spaces available over here, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same spaces I am giving over here, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you give 0 space, then you will get a 5 star over here. Star, 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 and star. If you give 1 space, then after this 1 space, so your star will be starting displaying from here. If you give 2 space, so after this, so from this 2 space, so 1 and 2, so your star will be starting displaying from here. If you give 3 space, so starting from this 3, if you give 3 space more, then your star will be printed like this. And if you give 4 space, so 4 from 4, so here from 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, then your star will be printed over here, and you will get the right aligned triangle. So the question mark is what? Very simple. If you give one space, you will get a pyramid, right? But it is the mirror copy of the pyramid. If you give only one space, then you will get the flag shape of the triangle. And one of the interesting thing is what? If you copy this particular thing, if you copy this particular thing, and if you says that I don't want to run up to row, I want to start it from 1, I want to run up to number of row and up to plus plus. So there are two triangles are there. So you will be getting the mirror copy of the triangle. For example, if I say 7, then you will get the output like this. Now the one of the good thing is what? Suppose if you say is here 2 space, right? So if you give 2 space, then you will get the right aligned triangle. If you say 7, then the right aligned triangle is displayed over here. And if you say that I don't want to give any space, so your left aligned triangle will be printed in the mirror copy of the same. So here now you can conclude that these two triangles are printed. That is the one, this one, right? And another one is the this one. So here you can say that this triangle and this triangle both are printed over here. If you give one space at the both place, then you will get the two triangle, and that will be the same triangle that is available over here. That is, a first one is this, and the second one over here, that is this triangle.